Today we are reading the first passage from the Sārangpur section. Sārangpur 1, Conquering the Mind. On Shravan, Vadhi the 5th, Samvat 1877, which is the 28th of August 1820 in our Julian calendar, Swami Sri Sahajanand Ji Maharaj, the spiritual teacher from which this lineage is based, was sitting on the veranda outside the north-facing rooms of Jiva Khachar's Darbar in Sārangpur. We've moved. We're no longer in Gadhada. It's no longer Dada Khachar's Darbar. It's Jiva Khachar's Darbar in Sārangpur. He was dressed entirely in white clothes. At that time, an assembly of munis, scholars, as well as devotees from various places had gathered before him. Thereupon, Muktanand Swami asked a question. The verse, Jitang Jagat Kena Manohiyena, from the Maniratnamala, explains that a person who has conquered their mind can be said to have conquered the whole world. Oh yes, this is a classic verse. Jitam Jagat Kena Manohiyena. One who conquers the mind has conquered the world. But how can one know whether the mind has been conquered? Sriji Maharaj replied, when the indriyas, the sense organs, withdraw from the panch vishais, the 5 experiences of the senses, in other words, sight, sound, smells, tastes, and touch, and no desire to indulge in those vishais remain, then all of the indriyas are said to be conquered. Moreover, when the indriyas do not come into contact with the vishais, the mind also does not come into contact with the indriyas, and its vritti, its thought force, remains within the heart. In this way, one who has shunned the panch vishais, the 5 senses, with absolute resolution should be known as having conquered one's mind. But if one does have some affection for the vishais, then even if one has conquered one's mind, it should not be known as having been conquered. Again, Muktanand Swami asked, is the means to defeat the vishais vairagya, dispassion towards the world and worldly objects, or is it affection for the divine? Then Sriji Maharaj explained, one way to defeat the vishais is Atma realization. Atma refers to the true self, the ultimate essence of a being. And the other is the realization of the divine, coupled with the knowledge of his glory. Glory is a funny word I find in English. In my opinion, I think some words that might better convey this concept is a sense of awe, a sense of amazement, just a deep appreciation for the extent of the infinite. Specifically, Atma realization should be of the following type. I am Chaitanya, awareness, while the body is Jad. I don't know what Jad is, but it's not Chaitanya. I am pure, whereas the body is the embodiment of Narak, hell. That's a powerful statement, isn't it? The body is the embodiment of hell. I am imperishable, while the body is perishable. I am the embodiment of bliss, whereas the body is the embodiment of misery. In this manner, when one realizes the Atma, the true self, to be totally distinct from the body in every way, one will never consider oneself to be the body, nor will one harbor affection for the Vishayas, object of experience. This is how the Vishayas are subdued through knowledge of the Atma. Atma Vidya, it's called. Also, one should think of the glory, the awe, the amazement, the reverence for that infinitude in the following way. I am the Atma, the true self, while the manifest form of the divine, whom I have attained, is Paramatma, the higher self. I have attained Sri Purushottam Bhagwan in person, the highest form of the divine personality. One could say, the very Purushottam Bhagwan, who is the Lord of Golok, Vaikunt, Shvetdvip, and Brahmapur, various names for abodes of the ultimate, as well as Master of Brahma, the Creator, and the other Devas, deities, who themselves are the lords of countless millions of Brahmans, universes. That Paramatma, higher self, forever resides in my Atma, myself. I would discard all of the pleasures of the Vishayas for countless millions of Brahmans, universes, just for 1 second's darshan of that divinity. Darshan means sight. Moreover, if one were to gather together all of the pleasures of the Vishayas of countless millions of Brahmans, universes, even then it would not equal 1/1,000,000th even of a fraction of the bliss which is present in just one pore of the divine. In fact, in the moksha dharma, in the liberation, the righteous duty of liberation, it is said that the realms of the other devas, deities, are like narak, like hell, compared to the Akshar dham of the divine. It is that very divinity whom I have attained in this incarnated form. Small context. In Eastern traditions, there's many different flavors of heaven. But heaven is not the ultimate goal of Eastern religion. There's something even higher. That's the attainment of association with this ultimate reality. And it is said that that association makes even heaven seem like hell. Very interesting, I think. So how can I possibly discard him and wish for the pleasures of the Vishayas, which are like the pits of Narak? In fact, the pleasures of the Vishayas are nothing but the embodiment of misery. So the Vishayas can be subdued by realizing the divine glory in this manner. Some drops of something keep landing on me. I think some hummingbirds, they're going to the bathroom on me, but it's like mist because it's so small. Must be good luck. The vairagya, the dispassion for the material world generated by such knowledge of Atma, the self, and Paramatma, the higher self, is such that it eradicates desires for the pleasures of all Vishayas. A person who has shunned the pleasures of the Vishayas by cultivating an understanding in this way never again develops affection for the Vishayas. Only such a person's mind can be said to be conquered. Without such understanding, it may appear that a person has much affection, but when they encounter an alluring Vishaya, experience of the senses, they abandon the divine and develop affection for that object instead. Or if they develop affection for a child, a partner, etc., or if they suffer on the account of some illness, or the pleasures of the Vishais disappear, then their affection for the divine subdues, and they become disoriented. Just as a dog's puppy appears cute when it's young, the bhakti, the loving devotion of such a person, initially appears to be good, but it ultimately does not remain appealing. All right. Thank you for listening. Thus we conclude the first passage of Sārangpur.